Hi and welcome to the latest edition of Agri Marketing Mastery. I'm Ben Pindar, I'm the PR account manager with Red Stag Media, and we're back after a short summer hiatus. And the big news from that period is that we've been nominated for an award. We're up for the best rural business in the Country Week Rural Business Awards, which is great news, and I'm sure it's going to be the first of many as we continue to help shape the future of agriculture in the UK / our world domination plans. So with that in mind, what we thought we'd do is we'd share our insights on the top tips for writing a winning award entry. And just to qualify this, in my previous life with a leading business magazine, we ran a wide array of awards. So it was everything from commercial property developer awards, manufacturer awards, just across the whole business spectrum. And that meant I ran an awful lot of judging sessions, managed the entry. So I've got some really keen insights into what makes a winning entry and why you need to think about when you're actually producing these entries. So the first thing is, why awards? Why do you need to enter an award? And there's a number of people who probably do question the value. Some of them can be quite expensive to enter, but having said that, there's an awful lot of awards out there that are free to enter, so do keep them in mind. But what are the key benefits? First of all, that external proof. It's actually someone else going, you are a fantastic business, you've got an amazing product. It's someone that's really can say completely independently of your organisation, you are great at what you do, and why wouldn't you want that? That's going to be something that's really powerful in terms of your sales material. Number two, you get great publicity from it. There's some, not only are the awards providers going to be shouting about this and putting publicity everywhere, it gives you some great material to push out there and shout about yourself as well, so take advantage of that amazing publicity. Another thing is about positioning the business. And the reason why I say that is, I mean, for example, with this Rural Business Award that we're up for, where we're going to be hopefully win the Rural Business of the Year, the other entrants are some fantastic businesses. There's some huge, massive rural enterprises. There's some really innovative, smaller rural businesses, but that positions us alongside them. The other nominees are great, and it demonstrates, again, how good a business you're going to be by getting positioned across these other great businesses. Number four, and probably one of the most important, it's about celebrating your team, and this is something really that helps to boost morale, gets people excited about what you do, really builds that momentum and drive behind the business, and it's something that you can do to really celebrate the achievements of your team, recognise what they're doing and reward them. And number five, and this is one of those keen insights I talked about at the start from my time doing judging and organising the awards, is that it's a lot easier than you think. You'd be surprised. I think most people assume that these awards are going to have lots of entries. It's going to be quite hard to get through to be nominated and to go on to win. But in many instances, there's a reluctance to get involved in these awards, so you don't have a huge amount of entries. And that means it can be easier to get through. So looking at the key elements that you need to think about when you're actually putting your entry together and those winning ingredients. The first thing is plan ahead. It's all too often you'll see an award, you think, oh, that'll be interesting, we'll get involved in that. And then weeks go past and suddenly you're on the deadline. So try and plan ahead and think very carefully about what you need to do to get the award entry together, and plan some time in with the people that you need to know. One of the key things in this is the entry criteria. One of the biggest mistakes I'd see in all of the judging sessions I do, people are putting an award in and they'd miss some of the key entry criteria. So make sure you're very clear on what those key entry criteria points are and what you need to do with that. And inevitably, in your organisation, the chances are there's going to be different people who can provide the info you need for each of those entry criteria. So make them responsible for them, give them the assignment and give them a deadline. So you're sticking with that plan ahead, so you've got something clean and professional. Number two, tell a story. And this goes on to the fact that it's all too often that people will just deliver reams of stats and figures and things like that, but what you've got to remember is there's a judging panel. They're going to have quite a lot of entries. It might be there's only 6 or 7 entries in your category, but there might be 20 awards. So if you multiply that up by 20, you've got judges looking at an awful lot of different entries. So tell a story, make it something that's engaging, something they want to read, something they're going to get really buy into, and that's about making it high impact. So it's not just boring stats, it's going, this is where we started, this is what we did, and look at what we've delivered. It's got this big impact. Make it visual as well. If it's going to stand out, as I said, there's 60 or 70 entries in front of them. Make yours stand out, so make sure it's got some good graphics if there's the opportunity, some good imagery, some video if it's even giving you the option to do that. Help to bring it to life, make it engaging, make it interesting. Number 3, and this is really important, keep it short. As I've said, there's potentially hundreds of entries in front of them, and we used to get some where it'd just be 20 or 30 pages thick. The judges just do not have the time or the energy to go through that much information. In the main, they're all going to be volunteers. They've been asked to take part in the judging panel. It's a bit of an honour to do that, but when you get an info pack or a judging pack through 2 or 3 days before the judging session, and it's thicker than a whale omelette, it's going to be challenging for them to actually get through. So if you keep it short, succinct, it's going to be impactful, it's got a really engaging story, and it's attractive, they're going to be far more likely to stop, be engaged with your entry, read it, and it's going to stick in the mind. So when it actually gets to the judging session a few days later, they're going to be going, I love this entry, and yours is going to be at the forefront, and they're going to have bought into it. And when it becomes to the debate in the judging session, they're going to be really championing your entry. And that also, what I should say, is including that additional info. The most award schemes will allow you to add in additional info, and the temptation is to just, again, stick in masses of extra blurb about case studies, stats, performance figures, whatever it needs to be. It doesn't need all that info. Just pick out the top extra bits that you need to include. So it might be the big high impact stat. It might be just one quote from somebody who talks about how much of a difference you've made to their business or their life. So keep it very simple and keep it short. Number 4, and this is arguably the most important, is prove it. It's all too easy to just go, we are great, we are awesome, this is what we do, which is what far too many entries do in these judging sessions, where they go, this is our ethos, this is what we believe, and we think we're great. It doesn't matter. You know, anybody can stand up and say they're awesome, but what you need to do is prove it. So actually bring some examples about how you're delivering real world impact. You know, when you say you've done this, how has that impacted in the real world? How can you prove it? What can you bring to life from it? Is it key stats? Is it performance figures? Again, is it someone telling you about how it's impacted on their life or their business, etc.? So make sure you actually demonstrate anything you're claiming as part of your reward entry, back it up with evidence. The next one, personality, and that's probably quite important. Again, that's going to go back to telling a story, making it engaging, show the personality of the business and the people behind it. So actually give it some flavour, give a feel for who you are and what you're trying to do, what your objectives are, the ethos in the business. So make sure you're actually really, again, making it feel colourful and personal and engaging. It really helps people build a personal relationship with your business and that entry. So really try and build that personality in. Next one, share it with the team, and this is really important. It's all too easy that, you know, it might be a smaller business where there's only, you've sat down and written the entry yourself and that's it, or if you've gone back to that entry criteria and there's a few people who've just filled in their individual sections. If by sharing it with the team, more often than not, you'll find out different members in the team will go, well, we did that and that was a great chance when we did that. And it's one of these things that will really help to bring it to life. It brings that impact that you need. It's just those little examples that you might not even be aware of yourself that will really help to elevate your entry. So make sure you share it with the team and let them contribute and be part of it as well. And that goes back to celebrating the team as well and showing you're actually doing your best to try and reward them and motivate and recognise what they're doing. The next one, check it and proof it. So go back, check it against the entry criteria. As I've said, all too often entries miss those key points. So make sure you've ticked every one of those entry criteria boxes and proof it. That's another thing as well. Make sure that it's not littered with errors. It looks professional, it's clean, and it's a professional document basically. Yeah? So you've got exactly what you need in there and it feels quality, premium, that you are a worthy business that's going to win that top honour. And the final one on that side of things is keep the entry. You know, you'll have put a reasonable amount of effort into this, and what you've done is you've drawn out some really good examples about why you're great. You've got the evidence to prove it. You've made it impactful and interesting, and it's got some personality. That entry can be used for an array of other awards, but it can also be used for your sales material. You've really put some effort into creating something engaging and powerful, so why not make use of it? So keep it, use it for other entries, work out where else there's going to be benefits within the business. And then I suppose finally, when you've done all this, plan your acceptance speech, because if you've done all of this, you're going to win it, I promise. So think about your acceptance speech. A lot of awards, there'll be a huge number of awards on the night, and the chances are you won't get a chance to do that. But there's nothing worse than being pulled up on stage where you've picked up your award and then they start asking you some questions or asking for your thoughts, and you don't want to be bumbling through it. Go back to telling your story and showing your personality. Keep it simple, keep it sweet, but think about what you need to say. So you've won the award, you've done your acceptance speech, you've gone home the next day and you've got a bit of a hangover. You're probably going to put the award on the shelf and then forget about it. Don't. Make sure you make the most of it. Shout about it. It's a great opportunity to really generate some more publicity. Go out to your customers and say, we've won a fantastic award. Get it on your social media channels. Incorporate it into your sales material. You know, we're already including the fact we've been nominated for the Rural Business of the Year in our pitch decks when we go out to new clients. So use these elements because it goes back to that external proof. It shows you're a great business. You know what you're talking about, and that's been recognised by a top honour. And then finally, keep going. You've won an award. Now's the time to win some more. It goes back to all of those key benefits that you can keep pushing forward, keep rewarding your team, keep generating that publicity. And more importantly, it shows you're a fantastic business. So we've used all of these top tips and we'll be updating you no doubt in a couple of weeks that we've won an award. So fingers crossed for all of us, wish us luck, and we'll keep you posted. If you've got anything else you want to talk about in the next Agri Marketing Mastery video, give us a shout and let us know. We'll see you soon.